Have you ever felt like you were not beautiful, too short or tall, felt like your ears or your nose were too big, like you were not clever enough or just overall inadequate? Everyone has felt not good enough somewhere in their lives, unable to meet the expected standards we and society place upon ourselves. The media has portrayed a set view of what beauty and success is. This view, with little variation on the theme, has been ingrained in children, teenagers and young adults as the only option, and if you do not fit within that mold by default, you are not beautiful or successful. People grow up with this mindset and believe it to be true when it really is the furthest from the truth. We all struggle with these thoughts. These thoughts are constantly generated through continued experiences from childhood up to right now. It is our interpretation of these experiences that generate these thoughts. By permitting these thoughts to exist, we stand in our own way to grow as a person. The origin of such a thought could be anything. For example, a teacher telling a young boy that he was stupid and the young boy trusting his teacher, believing it. We all have had such experiences that have triggered certain responses in life and resulted in beliefs about ourselves that are not true. My belief was that I was stupid. My whole life I have struggled with words and language. It turned out that I have a form of dyslexia. At school in the late 60s, the teachers were not aware of this entity and thought because I struggled to read, spell and pronounce words, they believed I needed to be punished. That was how the foundation for my education was formed, being constantly punished. I grew up thinking that I was just not clever enough. I struggled through high school, the belief system that I'm stupid ingrained in my identity. My dad said to me on a regular basis that he believed that I am not stupid and convinced me to go to university. I decided to enroll in studies to become a teacher and vowed that I would never be like the teachers I had growing up. In order to qualify for the degree, we had to take 2 language subjects. That was a tall order for a person with a form of dyslexia. My professor in Afrikaans, my native language, soon realized that I had a huge problem as I received a distinction in the literature part of the subject, but failed the grammar and spelling part horribly. He asked me to make an appointment with him one day after class. I did not know what I was going to tell the professor, as I could not explain why this was happening. The professor then explained to me what my problem was, that it was just a mechanical problem in my brain concerning language, and I understood for the first time at the age of 19, I have a form of dyslexia. I was shocked and at first embarrassed, but relieved that I knew what was wrong with me and that I was in fact not stupid. As I got older, I tried to hide it, as I didn't want anyone to know about my shortcoming. I would, for example, never take notes when another person was sitting next to me because I was worried that they would be able to see that I couldn't spell. Now, what does my long story about my insecurities have to do with you? I have a passion to help people, and when I embarked on this journey to widen my audience, I again got confronted with my dyslexia problem. In life, we all have certain struggles in different areas, sometimes believing stuff like, oh, I'm not good with figures, so I can't do well in math. Or, oh, I cannot finish this race because I'm not as strong as my opponent. Or, I'm not as beautiful or thin like that girl, so I will never be happy. I can go on and on with these kind of examples. You know them all. We start to believe the things we say to ourselves out of fear of embarrassment or judgment, eliminating ourselves from the race, even before it has begun. My dad and my professor changed my life for letting me realize it was just a mechanical problem with my brain and not an intelligent problem. I wasn't stupid at all. Through their help, I realized that I could achieve anything I put my mind to, and so can anyone and everyone. I just struggled with words more than the rest of the population, where other people have their own unique struggles. I realized only later in life that dyslexia is a quite common problem. I started to embrace my problem and didn't see it as a fault anymore, but rather how I am just unique from other people. That gave me the guts to finish my degree and eventually my doctorate in psychology. If you somehow feel you're not good enough or be embarrassed about something about yourself, you should remember you are still you, and there is not one person in the world who can be a better you than you. Isn't it amazing that we all are so different from others, but we are all the same regarding our fears? So working through my own fears and failures, I realized that in a world where perfection is praised, imperfection is part of life, and the very thing that makes us unique and perfect. I invite you to stop seeing your imperfections as flaws, but embrace them and see how fulfilled your life can be. I promise you will realize that they were never imperfections to begin with. I want to leave you with this last thought. Be yourself. Embrace your life with its struggles and failures. Stop being so hard on yourself and live your life fully by being the best you, not what you wish for. Our imperfections are the things that set us apart from others and makes us stand out.